Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel Trending Signal. I'm Caterina from Italy. So don't get used to that because Brajesh is going to be back very soon, but today is my day again. So sorry guys for the little delay that we had this week, but I spent 3 days in Rome this week for the holiday, as a holiday trip. So if you are curious to know more about Rome monuments, Rome history, please check out our Instagram page and you will find out what I did this week because I'm starting to post little by little all the millions photos that I took. I had my camera full, so you're going to see many of them in the next days. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to follow our Instagram page. But remember one thing, our Instagram page changed recently its name. So now you're going to find it as Caterina Vlogs. Today I'm going to record a little bit different kind of video. Little bit different because this topic is pretty new for this channel. And it's something that maybe we are not used to think about or record about, but I found out in these days this YouTube video, so I thought that it could be interesting to react to this video that I found online on YouTube with you guys. So this is not a trailer video, it's a totally different kind of video and we are going to find out very soon. So you can find online many different videos about this free-range children, free-range parenting, but I just picked this one because I think that it's short enough and it summarizes pretty well what free-range is. But before react to the video and play the video, I want to introduce a little bit this topic. First of all, so let's roll the intro. So, free range is a new kind of approach to parenting and it's pretty revolutionary. Basically, the main rule behind free range is these parents who choose free range as method, they leave the children to get as much experiences as they can. So they don't impose them so many rules because they leave the children to be children. So children are free to get hurt, to do mistakes, to get more experiences, basically also maybe to walk alone in the park, to do this and that. So they are basically more free than other children that have the same age. And this is the good part for me as of a free range. This is the good part because it can be also a valuable method, I don't know. But the problem is that this free range can be extreme in some way and it can lead to unschooled children. So let's see how this happened and let's play the video because I think that this video is very clear and it can clarify to all of you what I'm talking about. You guys maybe don't know that even if I'm not a parent, I don't have any kids, I am very interested in finding out new kind of parenting approach. So I recently started to study, get curious. I'm curious about some new kind of parenting approaches. Like, for example, recently I found out about Montessori kind of schools that I already knew, but I took a deeper look, Steiner kind of schools, and this is the ultimate kind of parenting that I found out, which is called free range. So free range, like out of cage kids.
Reading, writing and arithmetic. Those are the core lessons many of us remember from our school days. And while discipline in class wasn't always fun, for the vast majority it was never an option. But now a surprising number of parents are opting out of that educational norm altogether. Instead, they've decided to cater directly to their child's interests, whatever they may be, as Juju Chang now reports.
Let's see.
It's a common morning ritual, hustling the kids to get ready for school.
Are you guys getting hungry?
and parents for work. But as the school bus doors close, the Martin family isn't on it.
Want to go out and see the baby bunnies? Did you check on their food today?
The four Martin children, ages 11, 8, 5, and 2, simply don't go to school. Never have.
So they don't go, basically, they're unschooled.
They aren't homeschooled
This is
either.
problem.
Instead, they're what's called unschooled.
Just picture life without school, so maybe a weekend. We wake up and we have breakfast and we just start pursuing what we're interested in doing.
Mom Dana Martin doesn't think her kids need to go to school
So
to learn their...
this is the first part of the video. They just start to introduce what free range is and how this can be very dangerous for the kids because it can bring to unschooled ones. And the mom, that for me, she's pretty hippie. She said, no, I want to leave the kids to pursuing their own interest. So what happened if, as 9 years old, my interest is Netflix? But we will see what this video is about, because of course the message is deeper than that.
ABCs.
Doesn't a child need to know who George Washington and FDR and JFK were?
I don't know, do you think they do? Do you think it's necessary?
Your mom lets you kind of read and study whatever you want?
Oh.
What about like math? Does she ever force you to do math?
No, not really.
Unschooling is radical enough, but radical unschooling
really.
extends the laissez-faire philosophy to parenting. Meals, for example, are up to the kids.
Pasta with peanut butter sauce. Yeah.
Okay, and this can be also
Whatever they
a good way
want,
for
as long as it's in the
responsibility.
house.
And so because we don't punish, we don't use the term rules, but we have a rhythm to our day.
Dad Joe works from home building wooden toy sets. In this home, there's no bedtime, no alarm clocks in the morning, so 11-year-old Devin often stays up past midnight.
Devin stays up until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes.
Okay.
And I'm so happy that he does and that he has that time to himself. He can have a nice 3-4 hours with
that's
Joe
good.
or just me.
Fighting again.
What time do you usually wake up?
Around 10.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's the same
I like
amount
this
of
one.
sleep.
Because
So while kids everywhere are studying history
In
Yeah,
the summer
good,
of
no?
1765,
and geography,
Bering Strait.
the Martin kids are free to pursue their own intellectual curiosity. Devin's baking projects involve measurements and
what is my
creativity.
intellectual curiosity?
About
Yeah.
8 to 6 cups of flour.
You see how
I
this
just personally don't believe in that humans learn best when they're trying to learn something that somebody else is telling them to.
While they aren't always idle, there are no tests, no homework, no lesson plans. If you're wondering, unschooling is legal because it falls under the guidelines of homeschoolers, so the regulations vary from state to state. Dana says her children have learned reading and math without formal instruction.
this is where the problems come from, because of course homeschooling is legal in most of the states and it has its own regulations. So this means that these kids, they don't go to school, but they follow pretty much the same program of the school. So homeschooling, of course, it's a choice, radical, extreme, everything that you want, but it happens following a program. What happened here? Why this is called unschooling? Because they don't follow any programs. So they basically leave the children to wake up in the morning and to choose what to do for the rest of the day. So there is no program, no textbooks, no school time. They basically learn what they want to learn. So it's up to the children. If you're interested in art, you can just spend the rest of your day painting. If you want to read a book, you can read a book, but there is no structure, there is no discipline, there is no program. Everything is up to the children. And these children are like 9 years old around. So how they can know about what's there? I mean, how they can know about polynomials if nobody talks about polynomials? And of course, also, I think that this should depend upon the parents, because if you want to do homeschooling, you should be prepared enough to follow your kids. So you should have a knowledge about everything, about literature, English, or Italian, depends on the language, reading, math, science, geometry, geography, everything, no? So science, it's a lot of knowledge that you should have if you want to do homeschooling. In this case, they just arrange their kids' way, their kids' day, like what do you want to do? So can you see the difference between homeschooling and unschooling? So this is pretty obvious. They don't have any knowledge for teaching their kids, and this is just chaos because they are just free to do. And what is more surprising is that how a 9-year-old can know what is history, what is like arithmetics, because if they don't know the existence of these topics. So of course the school for me it's very useful because it can expose the children to many different things that they don't know the existence, because in this case, no, of course they are interested in what? They are interested in kitchen, because in cooking, because they have a kitchen. They are interested in painting because maybe they have some pencil, some paper, and they can drawings. But how they can be interested in arithmetics, in geography? I mean, they don't have a perception of these topics. So how they can be interested in? This is the fact. And let's play the video again.
But when we asked 11-year-old Devin a basic multiplication question, he stumbled.
It permeates our culture that this is about, working hard,
Okay, I stumbled.
getting to the next step.
Sometimes they'll ask me, how do your kids learn if they're having fun all
Here
day?
the interviewer is
They
very
still don't equate
up
learning
to the
with fun.
point.
Right, so how do your kids learn if they're just having fun?
Whatever they're interested in, I try to bring as much of that into their life as possible with as many resources as possible.
We followed the Martins on a rainy day in Madison, New Hampshire to see how this learning through osmosis works. They went on a field trip. First stop, the Weather Discovery Center. A lot of fun, but not always easy for Dana to make
And
her
this
point.
is comes
It says wind is caused when air flows from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure.
So what did you learn?
I learned not to stand
2-year-old.
on top of a mountain.
Wow, yeah,
At the
very
rock
appropriate
shop?
for his age.
How much is it? How much is it?
You gotta do that.
The store owner quizzes them.
Remember what it does?
The response?
How do you see your kids' future lives playing out? High school, college age?
Yeah, this is a good
I
question.
don't really
Thank you.
necessarily project, I just want them to be happy.
But I'm stunned that you've never thought about what kind of jobs your kids would end up.
Hippie
I don't
style.
know. Does anybody know? Do you know? Can you picture what kind of jobs your kids would have?
My son wants to be the Yankee third baseman, so right now it's a little off.
Perhaps not the best long-term plan.
What you making, Ivy J?
Dana, though, has become a leader in the growing radical unschooling movement through YouTube videos.
True learning comes from the internal drive, the need from the learner.
She's even written a book. There are an
Oh,
estimated
I have to check this one.
150,000 unschooled families nationwide.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Dana.
Yeah, you see
Dana,
the
who
numbers.
teaches childbirthing
impressive.
classes from home part-time, even gets paid to go into other people's homes as the unnanny, as opposed to the super strict disciplinarian on the TV show Super Nanny.
You will go straight to your room for that behavior. Right
Yeah,
What kinds of things do you like to do?
Play.
I love
The
her.
most important job you have right now at your age.
Yeah, Netflix.
Massachusetts mom Erica Berg homeschools and is trying to ditch the textbooks and try unschooling.
Most of the struggle is myself and trying to figure out how to let go of what my idea of school is.
And the mother of 3 boys is full of questions.
What if they really do need algebra? And
What happened in the rest of the video, basically, this mom is going to other homes and for teach them how to be free-range parents, how to practice the unschooling thing. And she's going to give some interesting advice, how to let things go, how not to be strict with the children and things like that.
I don't teach them algebra.
So the fears that you have are so normal.
Okay.
And algebra is not something everybody on earth needs to know. This
Right.
life is about honoring the fact that we're not all put on the earth to do the same thing in life.
No,
Just
they don't
connecting
know,
and being
they don't
present in the now, they're so into it.
It's one thing to follow your child's lead in learning, but what about discipline?
Can stay in the backyard and use this hammock while we're up here, okay? Please.
4-year-old Henry wants to go play on the blue hammock in the front yard. At first, his mom forbids him. But then Dana intervened, saying the no could easily be a yes.
Why can't he go on the blue hammock? We can just as easily move on over here and still have everyone's needs met.
No, that's perfect.
He has, so yeah, let's do it.
All right.
In your mind, what was the most interesting tweak that you were able to make?
One of the things I love to do is
So there is
sharing
no authority.
how a child feels if a parent isn't necessarily seeing that. Because he has a real need for going in it, and his needs are just as valid as ours.
Right.
But the kids say what they need is a whole bag of cookies.
Mommy, how many can we have these?
I don't know, 3 or 4. We're all set with the cookies, okay?
This
Dana
applies also
encourages
to
Erica to try
diet,
letting her kids have it their way.
food,
You know, when you
what
set up
they
things with
eat, what
limits,
they
you're
want
setting
to
up a
eat.
scenario of kids sneaking things.
Yep.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
Oh, yeah.
Erica isn't quite sure.
I just feel like if they ate the whole bag of cookies, they're off the wall.
No,
I think
not
that's
usually.
something that's going to take me a while to
No, I can have that other
work on and feel okay about.
You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
Back at the Martin household, Devon's
She's
baking
not radical
project
enough.
passes the test.
Do you ever wonder, like, gee, I wonder if I could go to school too?
Well, I could if I wanted to.
But you don't want to.
No, not really. Because I like being free and doing whatever I want.
What about when the learning gets more sophisticated? How do you expose them to Shakespeare or Twain or Henry James? You know, how do you teach them the great works and the great historians if you can't get them to sit down and learn?
Well, I think a lot of people might value that more than others.
This
I
answer is
honestly
very
don't
interesting.
remember. Yes, although I know their names, I don't remember the details of what I learned in school about the historians, for example.
Was that good like that?
Details her children may never have the chance to forget. For Nightline, this is Juju Chang in Madison, New Hampshire.
Yeah. This is like the best finale for this kind of video, details that children will never have the chance to forget. So this is kind of like the best summarize of this video, because of course they are basically taking, from my opinion, they are taking their children the opportunity to achieve, to reach the highest level of educations, because what happened in the college where they require to you a certain amount of knowledge. So what they are going to do, I mean, of course, she chose basically maybe to be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe she doesn't have a career, I don't know, but what happened for their children? What happened if one of them wants to be a doctor or an engineer or a scientist? So they don't have, of course, this opportunity because they don't have a diploma, they don't have anything like that, they don't have a piece of paper who attests their knowledge. They are just wild kids for me, for my opinion. So thank you guys for watching this video. This is basically a very new kind of topic, but I was like passionate for talking about this today, so I just took the chance. I hope that you can appreciate, and please let me know what you think about this free-range parenting method, if you like it, if you think that it's a good method, and in the future, if you're not a parent, if you would like to do this free range, to try this free range technique. So let me know in the comment. Thank you guys for watching and see you on the next video. Bye.